Hey guys, 51 here. I'm doing this video about Ronin because somebody who was viewing one of my earlier videos asked me if I had a guide on him. And I realized that I did not know how to use Ronin, and luck would have it, I actually just duped a 5-star one. So that prompted me to go ahead and rank him up a little bit. I don't have the catalyst to take him all the way up. I'm not an unlimited resources player. I'm just a regular player. But I actually just got the skill catalyst I need. Let's go ahead and upgrade him to rank 3. And you can see from his descriptions, he's one of the more complicated characters to actually use the way you want. He's going to take a little bit more practice. In fact, I think he's actually a little overcomplicated. He's kind of like Diablo. Like, on his face, if you're just using him, he's not going to perform all that great. Yeah, he'll cause lots of bleeds. You'll kind of accidentally stumble from stance to stance, and that might give you a cruelty here or there, or it might end up with a fury here and there. But now that I've actually practiced him and read up on him, I think I can help you figure him out. And he's a pretty cool champ. So, okay, now he's ranked up. You see that all the little green numbers have gone up. That goes up with ranking and with SIG. All the things that are not in green don't change regardless. And I'm just going to take him to Realm of Legends because it'll be a nice long fight and I'll get to show off what he can do. I'm probably not going to win the fight because I'm not really trying to. I'm trying to make sure I show off all of his specials. I show all of his bonuses and all the tricks for getting, stances changing and gaining cruelty passives, which turn into fury buffs and all the fun stuff that he can do now that I actually think I kind of know how it works. But okay, so here I'm trying to help him out with a few of the synergies. I looked it up online, synergies that are going to be helpful for him. Black Widow gives him a power gain. Captain Sparkles, the new Captain Marvel, makes his bleed last longer, which is always handy for a guy that puts lots of bleeds on. Guillotine, or you can use Nightcrawler. They can cause bleeding on blocks, so almost like Blade can when he parries somebody and it puts a bleed on. He can do that, and also on any block. And then I'm putting Moon Knight in because when you switch your stances, it actually can give you a small fury buff, which can't hurt. The only one that I knew about that I didn't try is Ant-Man, just because there aren't enough slots, and he just makes block proficiency go up for Ant-Man with Ant-Man. So anyway, that's who I'm going to roll with. There's probably some other combinations that might be useful, and I'll play with those in the future. But here we go. Going to jump right in and get to work with Ronin against the Winter Soldier. All right, so Ronin, his real thing is he's got these 3 different stances that he switches between. That's kind of the key to figuring him out. We'll just start the fight, see how it goes. See, I caused a bleed on the block, actually not from hitting. And he has a chance to cause a bleed with any hit, but it's relatively small, like 15%. But with that extra little synergy, they last quite a while. Not a ton of bleed damage, but c'est la vie. Okay, so see the little cruelty passives, I got up to 3 right now. The trick is he can get up to 7. And when he gets 7, that's kind of his magic number. That's the max that he can hold. But then when he gets to 7, it grants him some other stuff. It grants him an evade, which turns into a fury, and also the number of cruelty buffs there will determine how much damage you're actually able to do with your specials, because they do a fixed amount of damage plus a bonus for each one of those cruelty passives that he has at the time. So here we go. I had full 7. I go with the special 3, which, barely is going to move the needle against Winter Soldier with his 500,000 life. But what it does, it gives a nice fury buff, and the strength of the fury is multiplied by the number of cruelty buffs. You see the cruelty buffs all went away. So it used all 7 of them, but that means he got a nice long, like a 15-second fury that's in the thousands. So now these hits are actually doing a significant enough amount of damage to make the Winter Soldier feel it. Okay. Let's watch a little gameplay here. Now, how to get those cruelty buffs? The way you get them is switching between stances. So right now you see in the far left I've got the little orange sword. That is the demon stance. It causes more bleed when you're in that stance. Whenever you hit with a light attack, it sets up another stance. So hopefully I can show it here. There you go. See, it cycles through those 3 black stances. And then whenever you dodge back, it sets that stance. So I just changed stance. Just change stance again. And every time you change a stance, you get a cruelty buff. And it stays there until you get up to 7. So that's the tricky bit. It's kind of hard in the middle of a fight to pull up and not finish your combo because you want to only get 1 light hit so you can switch to the guard stance. And then you want to hit with 2 lights so that you can switch to the Wraith stance, or with 3 hits so that you can switch to the Demon stance. If you finish your full combo every time, then you're just going to stay in Demon stance the whole time, which is fine for just basic gameplay because that's the one that causes lots of bleed, and that's what you're going to use this guy for because he is a kind of a bleed monster. But those are what the stances themselves do. When you're in the guard stance, it raises his perfect chance block. It lets him parry even if you don't have that mastery. And it purifies 1 debuff. So if you happen to be poisoned or bleeding, then it guarantees to purify 1 debuff. The Wraith stance, it makes somebody disoriented. So I'm hitting him with it now. It reduces his ability accuracy. But then the Demon stance just makes lots of bleed, and you can actually bleed through a block. So a blocking opponent, you can hit them and cause them to bleed. So I'm about to end this fight here because I haven't been playing very conservatively. But hopefully that shows off kind of what he's able to do. But just a quick rundown of what his specials do. Special 1 disorients, and it switches your stance. Special 2 causes a bleed multiplied by the number of cruelties, and it removes all the cruelties. Special 3 gives you a fury multiplied by the cruelties and removes all cure.